It's your girl Akuu bringing you Sikaatalks The Podcast. How is everyone doing? I hope everyone is doing beautifully well. I hope you guys are feeling blessed and enjoying this summer that's like hitting us really hard. So, topic for today. Everything that has occurred is what has led to this beautiful podcast today. And I really want to talk about friendship today. I want to talk about friendship. The purpose, the meaning, the importance of it. Because as I've brought up before, I just feel like we are, as people, we are deriving, we are going into, we're pushing for solitude. We're pushing for, I can make this by myself. I don't need nobody. And I just don't feel like it's right. I don't think it's the right way to go. From the processes of us being human beings, like you come from someone, like, and that process of you being a being comes from somebody else being with somebody else coming together, and then you turn into the being that you're being as a human being. Yeah, like that. I do. So I hope you do too. Just in general, just to give you guys a little background, I was just reflecting on friendships and the people that I have around me, the people I call friends, throughout these few weeks. As I've said, I'm coming outside. Like, you might see me in certain places. So connecting with people I call friends, but due to life, because life is real, life could hit you pretty hard. Due to certain life instances, I haven't been able to, be out, hanging out, reaching out. Conversations are still being held, like here and there. Like, adult friendships have now turned into sending constant videos on Instagram, and that's how some of my friends and I communicate. I think what really took me to this place and really pushed me to have this podcast was the last I love my friends. I reconnected with some of my precious friends from high school. I graduated high school in 2013. I graduated high school in 2013. And yes, I've stayed connected to some people from high school, but then I just have that clan of people that my family from high school. And just looking at how we've all grown into these beautiful human beings. Everybody's doing their own thing. Everyone is coming out of their shells, coming out of their comfort zone and doing things that we were never imagine ourselves doing. Because back in high school, somebody had told me, "Oh, you'd have had the podcast." I look at you like, I can't even speak English. What do you mean I'll be having a podcast? But okay, I don't like talking to people like that. But look at me. Anyways, and then in general, it just was such a warm feeling, seeing the growth in people. And that just brings me to one thing that I was really reflecting over for the past couple weeks is the fact that a lot of people talk about people with small circles, the real ones. I think I came across a post on Instagram. It was real people have small circles and the fake ones have bigger circles, something in that sense. And I'm just does that even really make sense? Because looking at my life and looking at different parts of different places I've been, so I was born in France. Even within France, I traveled, went to school here, was born here, did this here, did this here. I traveled. And then from France going to Ghana, and then Ghana coming here. So it's just looking back, and it's I've met a lot of people. I've come across a lot of people. Friends are also a marker of your growth, of places you have been to. So as a person, if you're just the type of person that just boldly speaks on, "Oh my God, I don't have friends. I'm by myself. I do this." I don't think that's a good look. I don't think that's something you should boast about. Because you're supposed to be able to connect to people. As a human, you're supposed to be able to connect to people. Because if you can't connect to people, how are you surviving? How are you living? like, this is like, nah, like real shenanigans. How, as a person, if you can't make friends, you can't deal with people, you just me by my lone self, like, how do you survive? How do you live? Like, how do you go through certain things in life without anyone? Like, it's tough. It's tough. You might be able to, like, I reached a path in my life where, like, ugh, I can't be around people. But it was not mostly like, oh, I don't want to deal with anybody. I still had people around me, and everything, but it was mostly just me that's what the accent is coming out. It was just mostly me focusing on things ahead. But in that sense, we all have that path in our life where we have to, like, stand still, be by ourselves, learn to know who we are to be able to even be around people. Because that's another thing. If you don't know who you are and you're in the midst of people, that's how you lose yourself. Because you might have that bouncing around trying to figure out where you fit or what kind of person you are. You can't do that in the midst of chaos. You can't do that in the midst of other people. But let me not go astray. Let me stay focused on friendship. So going back to that, like, being, like, your friends, the people that you keep around, are also a marker for you as a human. That is a marker of your growth. Like, if you look back at people and you're just like, wow, like, you're still doing the things that we used to do back in the day, or I understand that, oh, when I come around that group of people, I tend to do things that I used to do, or and it could be good things or bad things. Like, things of the past can be things that, oh, you don't do because you don't have that group of people with you to actually push you to do those certain things. So it's not always negative things. Like, it could be some good things. Even going into that, what really warmed my heart is just everybody talking about their goals and just generally speaking, like, looking at the group of people that I have around me, and everyone is just growing and having, like, setting goals for themselves, achieving those goals, working towards those goals. And I just feel like that is really beautiful, and that's also a motivation for me, seeing that happening and be fruitful, and just thinking that, wow, like, a couple years from now, we could look back and be like, yo, do you remember you were talking about you're going to set up your business, and, like, look at you. Look at you. Like, conversation like this, like, things like that is what really makes me look at the people that I have around me, the people I call friends, and you can believe, like, wow, I'm really where I'm supposed to be. And that's another thing I feel like is really important. Well, coming to America was really a big difference, because I feel like people, I don't know if it's an American thing or maybe just coming from an African home we don't really, I don't know. I'll just speak for myself. I don't want to generalize. Growing up with my dad, yes, my dad was a good, like, great dad. Was great with, like, pushing me and filling me up with self-love. But I love you was not always said. That's not something you will really, I'm speaking for my dad personally. I don't remember the last time that man said the words, I love you, but I know he does, like, because actions speak louder. But being in America, I feel like a lot of people use the word love really, like, just, I don't know what the word I want to use, but it's really used, like, sometimes it's like someone you never had the conversation with would just say, oh my God, I love you. It's like, okay, do you really love me, or are you just saying it, like, like a compliment? Like, I feel like the word love here is really used as, like, a compliment. Like, a girl could see you down the street and love you. Oh my God, girl, I love you. Like, I love this. It's like, okay, I don't know if I say I love you too. Do I just say, like, do I just nod my head and smile? Even down to, like, one of my previous jobs, like, working with clients would just sparkly just say, oh my God, I love you, Sal. I'm like, yay, have a good day. Thanks for playing. But so I feel like that's another thing too, like, culturally, like, that American culture, the word love is just is really out there. So sometimes when you get used to things, I won't say they lose their value, but it's not as special as it's supposed to be. But then also it's like, is I love you supposed to be, it's supposed to be special, but is it supposed to be only said during certain moments? Like, am I supposed to only tell you, oh my God, I love you when we're falling apart, we're leaving each other? Or I'm supposed to be able to tell you, hey, I love you when I'm just waking up and sending you a text, you just crossed my mind, type of thing. So I just felt like that was also like kind of a culture shock, like the word love in America and within friendship and even outside of friendships. So just throwing that out there. When I used to do IG talks every Wednesday night, one topic that was brought up was friends versus lovers. Like, are you supposed to treat your lovers better than your friends? And I feel like friends are also lovers. Like, because friendship is me choosing to have you in my life. You being my friend is like, I'm telling you I love you, flaws and all, Jimmy and all, Nyansa and all, smartness and all, everything and all. We are choosing each other to be there for each other in case of anything. Like, I don't really deal with the word acquaintances. I don't know really, like, what is that? That just sounds complicated. Like you're a friend. You don't know, if you're not a friend, you're just somebody I know. I feel like that's just the breakdown. But you're still in love with that person. Like, talking about friendship breakups, like, those things are real. Like, that's one thing that shows you that, yeah, friends are really important. Because, like, if you break up with a friend, who are you going to? Where when you break up with a significant other, you could rely back on your friends. So another thing I would say is, like, also as a friend, if you're a bad friend, I'm pretty sure you would be a bad lover. But I feel like there's room to wiggle about being a bad lover but still being a good friend. Because you have to be a friend first to your lover before the lover becomes a love. Regardless of how you want to look at it. Because friendship is what should sustain that relationship. So friends are really important, guys. I'm not saying go out and just go make friends. But you should be able to keep people around you. If you're a person that can't keep people around you, there's always drama. There's always, I will say, check your life. There might be something there. I'm just saying. If you agree, please let me know. If you disagree, also let me know, because I want to talk about it as I am talking about it now. But just to break it down too, going back to the whole small circle versus big circle. Like, oh, if you have a small circle of friends, that means you're a real person. If you have too many people around you, that means you're fake. I just feel like fake people, you could tell when a person is fake. A fake person can't keep people around them. They have to put themselves out there so people can't see them. So even that whole notion of, oh, fake people have so many people around them, and then, like, oh, small circle of friends. It's okay. I'm not saying, like, oh, if you have 50 friends, then you're doing too much. Probably not. It depends on what kind of person you are and what experiences and what places you have been in life for you to be surrounded by that many people. And also, as I said, like, there's a lot of people. I know a couple people that know a lot of people but don't have a lot of friends. Like, a lot of people know them. A lot of people can come up to them, have a conversation, be social with them, but they might not even know their last names. That's not a friend. If you can't tell the person's last name, you can't say the person's birthday. But then also, you also have fans that might know all these information. But is there a real connection there? That's another thing too. But all in all, guys, friendships are really, really important. Like connection, human connection is important. So as a people, we really need to derive from that whole notion of I stand alone, I am alone, I die alone. Because I was really that person. Like back in junior high school in Ghana, I had this best friend. And that was really my guy. And we had a quarrel. He was petty and I was pettier. Like, it was really bad. So, and it's like everybody knew about our friendship. And we had to fight. Even, it was that bad that the teacher even got involved. Like, how come you guys are not talking? You guys need to be friends. This is not good. Come on now. And I looked at the teacher's face and I really opened my mouth. I had the audacity. Wow, I'm wild. I opened my mouth and told that lady that, listen, my mother brought me to school to study and not to make friends. So I don't care if they're not my friends anymore because I'm just here to focus on my studies. What studies was I focused on? I wasn't focusing on nothing. I was just saying nonsense, talking nonsense. But this is crazy. It's true. When you get buried by yourself. But damn, as a person, you know, you have to have people around you. A lot of people that get hurt by other people and then just lock themselves away and just don't want to give access to anyone. Yo, you have to let that hurt go. You have to let that hurt go. Because even though when it comes to friendship, people have seasons. You know, we could tell time by the seasons. When the season ends, you know that the time has ended and something else is coming. So people have their seasons. It's not everyone that you started with that you're going to end with. Some friendship end badly. And then certain things are said, certain things are not said. And it's just like, oh, you really even were my friend before, this and that. No, come on now. As I said, seasons. And that's what is important. I'm going to bring it back to faith. I'm going to tap into the source. That's what is really important. That you tap into your source. Me, I'm going to tap into that Jesus. So Jesus could give me that discernment. And I know who's for me and who's not for me. Because there's another thing. Like you, as a person, you know what you bring to the table. You know what you could add to people's life. You know what you could do, how you could help people, how you could affect people and stuff like that. So some people might use that to their advantage. That's, you know, manipulation and power, control, all of that stuff. So you just have to be careful. But, you know, like some people either help you get to your blessings, or some people will help you get to your destruction. And that's what discernment is really important. Like, I think a couple weeks ago, probably might have been a month ago, there was a story about this girl whose best friend was sleeping with her man. Why people still talking about the story and still referring about those two individuals as friends? A friend would never do that to you. Like, what? That's bad. That's terrible. That's wild. That's sad. You know? Like, certain people are just, agents. You have to believe certain people are agents. But if you don't believe in yourself, or you don't believe that, you are such a powerful being, you have so much to offer, and you have a purpose on this earth, that someone is against you and will want to do anything to make sure you don't tap into your purpose to bless others, for others to also bless others through their gift that you might have exposed them to, then you really never believe that there are people that will come into your life just to push you to a certain path that might lead you to destruction. So, you know, everything just wraps around. It always comes full circle. It always comes full circle. So, guys, and this is like a love letter to my friends. All my friends, I love you guys. If you're my friend and you don't get this message, that means you don't watch Sikaatalks, and that's a shame on you. Big shame on you. But listen, I love you all, and you guys are very special, and I can't wait for everyone to blossom into the woman and the man they are meant to be. So I could tell my kids, look at your auntie, look at your uncle.
I know that's right.
Yes, because I cannot wait for that. Cannot wait for the talks about, yo, do you remember when we used to, do you remember, look at us now? Like, I don't want to cry on camera because we're not doing this. But seriously, I love it here. I really love it. Like, as I said, just looking at the people I call friends, the people I have around me, I just truly feel that I am truly blessed. God is doing his thing, and he did his thing. And I'm glad. Because, like, you should be, I feel like that's such a great feeling. I hope that everyone has that, where they just sit down and they just look at the people around them and they just reflect on life, and it's just like, wow, I'm really where I'm supposed to be because of the things that are happening, the things that are unfolding around me, also due to the people around me. And friends are also, like, at the end of the day, your friends are also a reflection of you, in certain ways, because some of my friends are not a reflection of me, but I still love them. Just kidding. I love you all. Because some friends are really, like, opposite. But it's like, wow, how? Only God knows. Those are the only God knows ones. You know? That group of friends, like, that they could really rely on, be open with, and you don't have to cover up your wounds. You don't have to, like, what is it called? You don't have to fake it, because you just love you just the way you are, because you're able to be who you are because of the people they are. Amen. Amen. Okay. But yes, this was just a little, and this is so funny because after our dinner, I definitely said, guys, I can't wait to get on this podcast because I'm going to talk about this little meeting that we had. And they're like, oh, we're ready for it. See, like, they already knew. My friends already knew I was going to bring this up. I love you guys so much. But just to bring it to a close, ladies and gentlemen, as I'm dropping this episode, something big is coming. That's all I'm going to say. Something big is coming. So, tighten up, because Sikaatalks is sticking. I'm just going to stop talking. But just know something big is coming. So please stay tuned. And as I always say, this is your girl Akuu Sikaa, and this was Sikaatalks the Podcast. Ciao.